And joining us on the line right now from California, where it's very early, is our good friend Joe DiGenova. Joe, thank you for going above and beyond the call of duty to be with us this morning.
My pleasure.
All right, so look, Hillary Clinton is asked a question in the debate about whether or not she's confident that she's going to be able to weather the email scandal. And she said absolutely 100% confident that this is not going to be a thing. And I got to thinking, I can't wait to hear what Joe DiGenova has to say about that. So, Joe, here's your chance. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's obviously a front that she's putting up. But here's the more interesting question, Brian. She says that right after Josh Earnest, the White House press secretary, says to reporters that he has spoken with a couple of people at the Justice Department who have told him that she is not a target. Now, that raises the question, is the Clinton campaign getting information from the Justice Department? Is the White House getting information about Hillary Clinton from the Justice Department? I would think that some of our esteemed Republican chairmen on the House and Senate Judiciary Committee and House and Senate Intelligence Committees would be writing letters demanding to know where Mr. Earnest got his information and whether or not he has been improperly briefed. And also, I would think that those four chairmen would be sending a letter to the Justice Department demanding the appointment of a special counsel, because the department has a political conflict of interest in this matter. But we shall see.
One other thing I want to ask you about this, it has to do with the fact that apparently they are, what was the line of thought? I just lost my complete train of thought on that, Joe. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's like you're in a distracted Radio Row up here in Manchester. I know. We have a lot of moving parts this morning. Go ahead.
It has to do with the fact that she says that she didn't have anything. She's absolutely 100% sure that she's not going to have any kind of issue with this. But it seems to me, the secretaries of state. They also pointed out these stories about it's Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell, that they also had emails that came out of their private email servers. I looked at that story and I thought there were great differences between the Hillary example and the examples of Condoleezza Rice.
Well, first of all, neither Colin Powell nor Condoleezza Rice conducted their business on a private server. They conducted their business through Department of State secure email systems, and only on several occasions did a member of their staff send them something to their personal email accounts. Hillary Clinton had no governmental email account. She conducted all of her business from a private email server in her house in Chappaqua. There is no comparison whatsoever. This is a despicable lie by her and the people around them, and they know it. And it is an attempt to equalize just a couple of emails received by Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice with Secretary Clinton, who did all of her business on her private server. And remember, she did not have a government email account. Nada, nothing, zip, never. So everybody has to understand it's the server, stupid.
Joe, I want to approach this from the position, unfortunately, that I'm a cynic, and I've been assuming that she's going to walk. I'm assuming that there will be nothing said by the Justice Department that suggests that Hillary Clinton did one iota of wrongdoing here. And given that, I want to know what can happen in terms of the FBI speaking out. Listen, in that answer, she said it was an absurd situation. I think we have the audio here. This is Hillary Clinton speaking with Chuck Todd. Do you have that? Let's hear it.
Are you 100% confident that nothing is going to come of this FBI investigation?
I am 100% confident. This is a security review that was requested. It is being carried out. It will be resolved. But I have to add, if there's going to be a security review about me, there's going to have to be security reviews about a lot of other people, including Republican office holders, because we've got this absurd situation of retroactive classifications. Honest to goodness. This just beggars the imagination. So I have absolutely no concerns about it, but we've got to get to the bottom of what's really going on here, and I hope that will happen.
Beggars the imagination. Joe, this is this whole by calling it an absurd situation, she is targeting people in the intelligence community. She's targeting people in the FBI. What will the backlash be?
Well, let's remember one thing. The reason there is being retroactive classification is because she did not use a government server. If this had gone through a real government server the way it was supposed to, everything would be classified within the system automatically. She didn't do that. She used a private server, and therefore she created the compromise of classified information from the very beginning anything was sent. If there are no charges recommended by the FBI, which will not be the case, the FBI is going to recommend charges against Secretary Clinton and a number of people. If the department does nothing, the Department of Justice, or if it does not appoint a special counsel to make that decision, there will be a revolt inside the intelligence community and inside the FBI, and there will leaks that will make the Saturday Night Massacre look like just going to the drugstore to pick up the newspaper.
Oh, my.
All right, so, Joe, how does this, what's the timeline on this? Because it is sort of critical as to when this thing starts to move forward. I mean, I'm with you. I believe the FBI will make a recommendation to the Justice Department, and I think the Justice Department will be hard-pressed not to go forward with it. But what's the timeline?
Within the next 60 to 90 days, and we're getting closer to 60 now, the Bureau will have put together the basic case on the violation of the espionage laws and the classified information, negligent storage, negligent handling, willful failure to properly control. Within the next probably closer to 60 days, we'll make a recommendation. The investigation into the Clinton Foundation, which involves bribery and corruption, will take a lot longer. But make no mistake about it, the Clinton Foundation is now the subject of an FBI investigation because of what they have found on Hillary's server.
If it's sources, methods, and assets, it means that basically, and that's what we've been led to believe it may be, it suggests that in the name of convenience, she burned potentially human intelligence assets somewhere in the world. If it's ever learned that those people were hurt or put in harm's way because of it, that's a pretty simple thing for people to grasp, even if they don't get the nuances of classified material.
Well, let's remember, you don't have to prove that there's been a compromise of the information to have a crime committed. In her case, because she used a private server and not a government server that was encrypted, she guaranteed that the Russians, the Chinese, and even our allies would be able to pierce her email system. And there's no doubt that in the emails that she received were the names of agents, plans, satellite imagery, and other things. So this is not a question any longer about whether crime statutes were violated. They, in fact, were violated. And her discussion of other people once in a while receiving an email on their private email account is completely just designed to be a deflection.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
You bet, guys. Good to talk to you.